Naked Eye Comics. Today's video, we have B-list top 10 characters. My personal top 10 choice. Now, everybody knows an A-list character. You got Hulk, Captain America, Spider-Man, all that stuff. This is going to be only Marvel. And it's going to be that second tier. Maybe it's not a household name. Maybe you might not know who some of these characters are. But some of them are going to be coming into this phase. Some of them are already have been here. It's just going to be at random. But starting off at number 10, I have Pip the Troll. Now, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen yet, he's coming. He showed up at the end of the Eternals. Just saw that the other day. So I'm going to have to do an updated top 10 Marvel movies list. But he's here to stay. If you want to think of a character similar, I think if you look at Groot and you look at Rocket Raccoon, I think Pip the Troll and Eros, I think they should have the same kind of effect. Now with those two, with Rocket and Groot, I hated Guardians of the Galaxy comics when I was younger, and even now, they're not really that great. But the movie did them more of a justice than what the comics did. And they're fun characters and things like that. But with Eros and Pip, I think you're going to see that even intensify more because they're a little bit more adult friendly. So coming in at number 9, I have Bullseye. More spoiler alerts. Daredevil's here. Kingpin's here. That means Bullseye's coming. Bullseye is one of the most underrated villains that's in the Marvel Universe. He's gonna be here pretty soon, probably, most likely. If Daredevil gets his own like standalone movie or TV show, he's gonna show up. So it's a very interesting character. He crosses over into a lot of different things in the comic books, so it's definitely gonna be something to keep an eye out for. At number 8, I have Crossbones. Crossbones is the same thing as Bullseye. He crosses over from a lot of different things. He fought against Captain America. He's fought against countless different, characters throughout the Marvel Universe. He's an interesting character. He's got a cool backstory. There's a lot of things to like about him and not a lot of things not to like. So it's going to be interesting how they take this next phase or even further after that. But he's definitely a character to keep an eye out for. Now, at number 7, talking back about Pip, I got Eros at number 7. Now, for me personally, Eros, that's the brother of Thanos. Me being a fan of the Eternals and the Celestials and stuff in the 90s when I was a young kid, that gives me a different understanding of this character where a lot of people don't know still to this day who Eros is. If you just ask 10 people, probably maybe one of them might know who he is. But he's definitely a very interesting character. Harry Styles is going to be Eros. I don't know about the selection, but I see what they're doing a little bit. It's just if he can act up to that role and what direction they take him. But it's very interesting going forward, and it's one of my favorite characters, especially B-list, or even A-list included in everything. He's just one of my favorite overall. At number 6, I have the Collector. Now, we've seen the Collector. He's not an A-list character. He's very interesting. They made him kind of weird in the movies. But in the comics, he's definitely a very cool character. And there's just something about him. I have the second appearance of the Collector, which is Avengers 119. That's an iconic cover. So I've always had like a little thing for B-list characters, and he's definitely one of my favorites. Now, at number 5, it's going to be Nebula. Nebula is the granddaughter of Thanos, I believe. Cousin of Gamora. So, moving forward, I see Nebula being an integral piece. I know there's been rumors and stuff like that about her being one of the focal points of the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie, which I see. But even not even in terms of that, like we've seen what happened at the end of Endgame, and just in the past Marvel movies, she's a focal point. She was never like that in the comic books, but they've ran with her, I'm guessing, from our views and our input, and they just ran with her. I think they did the same thing with Rocket and Groot. Satisfaction of the characters, maybe from the fan base, she was taken on really well. So was Rocket and Groot, so they kind of just ran in a different direction. So it's interesting to see what they're going to do with her moving forward. But as far as B-list characters go, she's up there. At number 4, this one is the Grandmaster. The comic books, he was amazing. We've seen him in Hulk Ragnarok so far. I definitely see a place for him going forward in the Marvel Universe. It's just going to be interesting with Kang coming in and everything like that. I definitely see this. We're going to see him again. It's almost guaranteed. In what capacity, he's not going to have his own movie or anything like that, but that's why he's a B-list character. At number 3, I have the White Tiger. Now, I always shout out to certain artists, things of that nature that I love. George Perez with White Tiger. That Spectacular Spider-Man number 9 was the first appearance of White Tiger. And that was one of George Perez's characters, first Latino character, I believe, added in to Marvel. And he's a doozy. He's gonna be, I've heard stuff here and there about him. We've heard spec about him potentially being in the next Black Panther movie. I don't think that's gonna happen. It's been almost confirmed that it's Namor. But at some point, this has to be a character that's gonna show up. Especially with how everything is going. They're gonna introduce Latino characters. And when they do, this is gonna be the very first one or the second one that comes into play. So keep an eye out. But as far as B-list go, in the comics, amazing character. One of my favorites, for sure. And number 2, my second favorite villain of all time. But not necessarily a household name. That's Omega Red. Omega Red has everything. He checks every box that you want in terms of a villain. Now, when the X-Men come in, he should be one of the first villains that come in. He's not going to be the very first. But he's definitely going to be in that second tier. And that's why he's on this list, second tier. And then number 1, this one's going to be a shocker. Aunt May. In the comics, in terms of B-list characters, some might argue she's an A-list character, but she doesn't fight anybody. She doesn't do anything like that. But I had to include her on the list. Everybody loves Aunt May, and she comes in at number 1. Thank you guys for watching the video. There's going to be more little fun videos like this coming up, and I'm going to get into some big ones as well. Please stay tuned. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please do that. It helps the channel and makes it easier for me to pump out more content. Keep in tune. More videos coming your way. Let's keep this ball rolling.